Step 1. Figure out the conclusion of the argument. See, this last sentence here is the conclusion. Step 2 is to link the two portions in boldface with the conclusion. See, the first boldface is a claim that the argument seeks to evaluate, and the second boldface is the conclusion that the claim may not be correct. So the second boldface opposes the first boldface in a way. So with that groundwork, let's look at the answer choices. Look at A. Calling it a conclusion is alright. Remember, the term a conclusion means an intermediate or a secondary conclusion. And yes, this part is a secondary conclusion because enough reasoning has been given in its favor. The main conclusion is different, but yes, this can be called a conclusion. And yes, support has been provided for the first boldface, so even this part is alright. To say that it is not the argument's main conclusion is also correct. So a good job has been done by 3 answer choices here for explaining the role played by the first boldface. Choice D does not do a good job. Calling this a premise is not correct. Remember, premise is a statement through which other statements are derived. This is not a basic information. This itself is a derivation. And the second problem, a bigger problem, easy to identify, is that the first boldface does not support the argument's main conclusion. To say whether the argument has only one explicit conclusion is another controversy. There are 2 conclusions. This is the main conclusion here, and this is an intermediate conclusion. And see, if at all we say that there is only one explicit conclusion, the second one has to be that. And no, the first boldface does not support the second boldface, the argument's main conclusion. So this part cannot be correct. The second boldface is not supporting the argument's main conclusion. The second boldface itself is the argument's main conclusion. So a lot wrong with answer choice D. This cannot be correct. Look at answer choice E. This answer choice repeats the problem that we just discussed in answer choice D. This part is incorrect, and the second is not a premise supporting the conclusion. The second is itself the main conclusion. So once again, a lot wrong with answer choice E. It's among A, B and C here. Answer choice A does a good job with the first half but does a bad job with the second half here. The second is not an unsupported premise. The second is the main conclusion, so it is bound to have a lot of support in the argument. And no, it is not something supporting the argument's main conclusion. The second boldface itself is the argument's main conclusion. So answer choice A should be eliminated. Look at choice B. To say that the second is another conclusion, the main conclusion is alright. And yes, then the crucial part that the second boldface opposes the first boldface, the first conclusion. Answer choice B is likely correct. Answer choice C, in suggesting that the second boldface limits a possible interpretation of the first conclusion, is just a complex vocabulary to confuse you. It's not that multiple interpretations of the first boldface are possible and the second boldface is eliminating one of the possible interpretations. Quite simply, the second boldface is simply refuting the claim made in the first boldface. Very often, such fancy answer choices, such as choice C, are incorrect on the GMAT. Let's confirm answer choice B now. We know that the second boldface is the main conclusion of the argument. We also know that the first boldface is a claim that has been refuted by the second boldface. Answer choice B says that the first is a conclusion, a good term for an intermediate conclusion. Yes, support has been provided for the first boldface here. This sentence is the support for the first boldface. So good job with the first half here. Look at the second half. The second is another conclusion. It is the main conclusion, so calling it another conclusion is alright. Opposing the first conclusion. This is what we have been looking for. The second boldface opposes the claim made in the first boldface. So even the second part is perfectly alright. B is the correct answer choice here.